Hey guys, welcome back to another sketchbook tour. So this sticker is mine, and these stickers I got them from Forever 21. This is a handmade sketchbook, and I repurposed the cover from an old diary, but the paper is canson wallpaper, and as you can tell, the sketchbook is falling apart because I used Mod Podge instead of PVA glue. That's a drawing of me. You can find me on all these social media. And that's my shop. Yeah. And these are all my supplies. So first thing I did some drawings. People. Because I thought that would be fun. And at first I was like, yeah, let's make this sketchbook pretty. Because whenever I start a new sketchbook, I'm always like, the first 2 pages are always like really pretty. Because I feel like I have to make it look pretty. Then I realised, oh, I can do whatever I want. And then it starts getting downhill from there, really. More sketchy. And here's some sketches for my comic. This is like really far in the comic. You won't see that for a while. My comic is called Paged Away, and it's on Tapas and Webtoons. And I'll put a link to it in the description, as well as in a pinned comment. And there's some more thumbnails for my comic. It's slightly spoilery, but they're small thumbnails. I don't think you can see much. And I saw this meme, which I'll put here, and I thought the meme was really funny. That the guy had like soup on his brain. So I drew this guy who's made out of glass, and his head is filled with like tomato soup. So that's why he's like orangey red or vermilion. He's just thinking about soup. And what was fun, which is funny, that day my dad got me a soup bowl cup thing that day as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, matching. So I made like 2 Instagram stories related to soup. I bet my friends were like, what's going on? What's up with the soup? Ironically, I haven't had soup in a really long time. So that's funny. I drew a greaser bee because I thought it was funny, and I wrote, do not disturb, I'm playing Fortnite, because I thought I saw these really funny socks, which I'll put here if I can find them, and I was like, heh, funny. And I drew my characters. These are my characters for my comic. And I also saw this sticker that says no eye contact penalty, £200. And I was like, huh, funny. Now I had this idea for this drawing, which I ended up finishing. I'll put here. That's the thumbnail for it. Because I was drawing this other drawing, and I saw this cool reference, and I was like, whoa, that'd be a cool Mob Psycho 100 drawing. I drew cute vampire, which I then digitized here. I drew another, like, clown person, which I also digitized, which I'll show up here as well. And another clown, which I also digitized. Wow. I love digitizing sketches. I made 2 videos on how to digitize your sketches, which I'll put in the iCard as well. And more OC doodles. And I really got into this anime called Ascendance of a Bookworm. And it's really nice. But my pen goofed, and I got really sad. Because my pen just died on me. It just randomly died on me. Like, it really bothered me. Here's some D&D doodles. My character I'm playing is a high elf wild magic sorcerer. And she had a wild magic surge and got turned blue. I thought that was funny. And we met some like frog people, and I was like, oh, they got that drip. So I drew it. Oh, and also, these are all the different things that happened due to wild magic. Because, yeah, I kept rolling under 5. So when you roll a d20, you get under 5. Wild magic stuff happens, and anything can happen from a unicorn appearing to you casting fireball centered on yourself, aka you die. Fun. Here's some more comic doodles. And I was just drawing I started off by drawing this handbag idea. Well, tote bag actually. Tote bag shape of a heart, and I was like, nice. And it was going to have like ruffles and everything. And I was like, this page is looking a bit blank, let's fill it with some stuff. Then I was like, okay, milkshake water bottle, cake bag, cake headphones, and like an eater bag backpack, and macaron headphones. I was like, wow, I'm so big brain. And a little chocolate keyboard. I was going to like colour this in, but I never got around to it. I might do it digitally though. These are some life drawing studies I did, quick studies for my comic, because I was having trouble with a pose, so I just drew lots of poses within the same vein of it to get some ideas. I did it again here for the scenes that you'll see soon. And this is more stuff for D&D and me having an idea for a drawing which I've not gotten around to. Oopsies. And these this row here is for part of the D&D stuff, and the stuff here is like me thinking about what would happen when my comic has an epilogue and stuff like that. Might be spoilers, but I used to be so like tight-lipped about spoilers, now I'm like, who cares about spoilers? I don't care about spoilers. I drew my characters again. This is another character. She's not in my comic. She's kind of like a, I don't know, made for Instagram character, if that makes sense. Because like, just made it look like cool to draw. And I swear every post I put up of her does really well on Instagram, so she's basically an Instagram character now. I drew a sad gherkin because of Cheers for no gherkins. So sad gherkin, classic. Me thinking of thumbnail ideas for a video I made called Changing Your Art Style for Webtoon, and of course that'll be in the iCard. And I drew my D&D character here, but accidentally picked up the wrong pen for her skin. And I was like, oh well, she's got character design change for now, I guess. I watched the Marina song called Poison, and I drew Marina, but I drew really weirdly, so I was like, oh, she's evil now, because I accidentally made her look evil, so I just rolled with it. She's thinking about crime, because she's evil. Drew my characters again. And this was like a mini sketch for this cool post I found to do with Mob Psycho 100. And I drew my spider sonar, so I was like, spider sonar is kind of cool. Drew some heads. This is also for my comic, because I couldn't do this panel. It was confusing my brain. So I just did some sketches. And I think those pages or panels came out alright. And you know what? I'll show you. It's not spoilery. Boom. Here's this panel that I ended up doing. And some doodles. Ooh, that's a cool idea. Design tieflings based off mushroom fungi. I might do that. And this is this cool character I have for another comic idea, which I might do after Paged Away. But Paged Away is quite long. I finally come to accept that it will be a long comic. At first I was like, yeah, it's only gonna be like 25 episodes. But my script right now is up to 30 episodes, so that's not gonna happen. And yeah, so the premise for this story is that she has like powers, like wind powers, like she can like have gusts of wind by like just breathing wind. I don't know how to explain it well, but she just could like just go and then boom, wind. So don't give her a birthday cake, otherwise she'll blow your house down, basically. And she just wants to live a normal life, just vibe. And everyone thinks she's a superhero when she's not. And I was like, yeah, I like that idea. This is going to be a fun comic. And I was drawing my comic. No, this wasn't for my comic. I remember now. This was for a redraw. I had trouble drawing the face of this video. Okay, so my phone cut off whilst I was in the middle of talking. But what I was saying was, I drew the face 9 times overall. And in the end, I still didn't like the face. Which is really annoying, but yeah. And which is weird because usually drawing faces is my comfort zone. So I don't get why it was hard for me to draw a face there. So I did some blob challenge drawings and then I filled them in with faces. And I think this one's my favourite because it's a mood. Like you're in a little hoodie on your laptop and you're looking at something like, what the hell is this? And I did some studies. And I don't like this dog because the eyes look too human and it's kind of creeping me out. These are some doodles and thumbnails for my comic on this page. And a little bit on this, but not really. And these are the thumbnails. I ended up going with something like kind of like this, but really it was like a mixture of these two combined. It was the banner for Tapas. His webtoon doesn't have a banner, but if you want to see how that looks, you can check the icon because I made a video on it. And I was thinking about an old panel I did. I wasn't a fan of it when I first looked at it again, when I was scheduling my episodes, and I was like, oh, I don't like this. So I thought I'd add in like an extra panel afterwards to make it more funny, and then I added it. So I added 2 extra panels to the second episode because I felt it needed it. And you know what? I can show the finished versions. Here's panel 1, which is this one, and panel 2 was an establishing shot, which is this one. And I just drew my characters again here. And I drew Taru from Mob Psycho 100 wearing clogs because I thought it would be funny. I don't know how I came up with that idea, to be honest. I did some like fancy thumbnails for stuff that may or may not happen in the comic. I don't think this one will happen, but I just thought it looked pretty. These 2 might happen, who knows. And I saw this cool reference on Pexels, so I drew it, and then I lost the reference, so I just added random colours. And this is partly to do with my comic. So I have this, object, my comic, which may or may not show up later. And I was just like going, oh man, how do I bring this up sooner in the comic? Oh no. So I just drew this to laugh at myself. And for those of you who don't know, Chekhov's gun is a literary device where there's this object that gets shown in like a media, whether it's like a book, film, comic, and later on that object will have to be used. Like for example, Chekhov's gun. So here's an example scene. Someone walks into an office and there's a gun on the table. Throughout, let's say it's in a book. By the end of the book, the gun will have to have gone off at least once. Otherwise, there's no point mentioning it. So yeah, so I was just thinking, oh man, I need to make sure this thing shows up soon. Otherwise it'll look like I just did it all for naught. And I saw this weird TikTok called Yogurt Town. Well, I'm calling it Yogurt Town, it might not actually be called Yogurt Town, but it's so funny. If I can find it, I'll link it. It's so funny. So I just drew the guy, but it was moving so much, so his proportions a bit weird when I drew him. So I was drawing it whilst it was playing. And I drew Reagan from Motorcycle 100, and he's got like a flip phone with like lots of dangly dudes. And I drew Dimple from Motorcycle 100 with a pog face. But I messed it up and he looks like a weird duck. I drew some cats, and the cats have creepy human eyes, and I hate it. I drew a cute building because I was like, ooh, cottagecore building, nice. So I drew that. I drew some shelters. That's to do with my comic, but you won't see that for a while. Should I spoiler it? Maybe. I drew my character sleeping, and sorry, just I tried to draw another character here, but I messed up, and then I was like, oh no, this looks like a cigar now, I might as well turn it into a cigar. So I drew a little flame at the end, and now it looks like a fat blunt. No, it looks like weed. It's not even that funny. Here's some like more designs of the character I was talking about earlier that had wind powers. So I was kind of redesigning her, and then I was having trouble drawing the eyes in my comic because after episode 3 I was like, okay. No, it wasn't episode 3. I don't know what episode it was, but at one point I was like, okay, we need to start drawing like proper eyes instead of these little dot ones, because it's getting annoying now. Because at first I was like, yeah, dot eyes. And I even made a whole video about, well, not specifically about drawing dot eyes, but like how my style has changed between illustration and my comic. And I spoke a lot about drawing eyes in that video. But then I realised I should draw normal eyes, and I should just bite the bullet and do lots of eye studies. So I did lots of eye studies, and I got a little bit more comfortable with drawing eyes enough for my comic. So from, I think, episode 6, you'll start seeing normal eyes. Look forward to that. So I did studies, and this looks like a creepy person, because eyes look really vacant. That's one thing I suck at when it comes to eyes. They always look really weird and vacant. Or like the pupils are slightly off kilter. And so there's a scene that comes up in my comic where it starts raining and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I don't know how to draw wet hair. So I legit googled wet hair and I kept doing like lots of studies, but yeah, I wouldn't Google wet hair if I were you, because some of the results were scary, but of the results that weren't scary, I drew them. And here are some D&D stuff. Oh, this session was, oh boy, a lot happened, man. Oh boy, but oh boy. That's all we're going to say. It was great. But my character, crap, I forgot her name. Amaral. But Amaral, she saw her doppelganger, but the dark elf version. So they were like, so I just drew them like glaring at each other and doing the Spider-Man meme because it's classic. And and wild magic stuff happened, and Amaral got like turned massive, and then these like flomp things came up. And it's so funny. I also, I gave him a buck because I thought it'd be funny. And he all like ran off. And this is the second time they've turned up. Every time they turn up, they're always scared of Meryl. I mean, I can see why. She's kind of, you know. But it just cracked me up. And yeah, that's the last page of my sketchbook. Wow. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a fun little guy. This was... Oh yeah, I forgot to say when I started it. I started it on the 12th of April and I finished it on the 29th of May. But yeah, this sketchbook was fun. And I love this canson wallpaper. I've used this for like, what, 3 sketchbooks in a row now? So yeah, I really love this paper. And no, I'm not... Camera cut off again. Ugh, love that. But as I was saying, no, I'm not sponsored by Canson on the Wall. But I love the paper, so of course I'm going to talk about it. But thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.